You got the other check?
We are up and ready.
Okay, welcome to the Fraser Park Public Utility District, regular meeting agenda for Thursday, February 12th, 2026 at, 4, we're called to order at 4:06 p.m. Can we stand and, do the pledge of allegiance to the flag, please? Ready? Begin.
I
Pledge
pledge
allegiance
to
to
the flag
the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before I do roll call of directors, is, Director,
Is it?
Gibson on the phone?
No.
She,
Yes, I am.
what? Yeah, she is.
Okay,
Wait, hold on one second. Becky, can you say something? I
Something.
just wanted
Is
to.
that where the G is?
yeah.
Yeah, we're not putting sound. Hold on. She was.
Oh, she's on
Can you
mute.
hear me?
No, she's talking and we're not hearing her.
I can hear you, but they can't, so I think they have to do something. with their
There you
audio.
go.
Okay,
We gotta
so,
fix our sound.
so due to an emergency, due to illness, Director Schoenberg is going to live stream from her car in the parking lot. So we need to have a vote, on allowing her to do that. Do we need to make a motion?
Yes.
Carrie, would you make a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to allow Director Schoenberg to join our meeting remotely.
Okay, and,
Hi.
Director Gibson,
I'll
do you
second
second
it.
that? Okay, roll call of, directors, Director Gibson,
Hi.
Director, Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Abstain?
and Director Nyman's and I, three, and Director Garcia is absent. So it's 3-0-1-1. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Schoenberg,
Here.
Director Gibson,
Here.
Director, Garcia is absent, Director Kelly,
Here.
and Director Nyman is here. We do have a quorum. Okay, second, discussion, vote, adjust agenda, if necessary.
Do we want to move, the closed session up?
It's already up.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it right.
And is there no D tonight?
Not yet, but I haven't heard anything.
Can I ask a quick question? Does my
Sure.
audio have to be active the whole time, or can I mute audio? I know my video has to be active.
You can mute if you're not speaking.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, but I just can't turn my video off, correct?
Correct.
Okay, since I hear nothing on changing the agenda, we can deal with that as we go along if there is something. Any public comments? Number 3, public comments that are not on the agenda, we're limited to, 5 minutes. Okay, I'm not hearing any. Oral announcement prior to closed session, Government Code 54957.7, parentheses A, a representative of the legislative body to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meeting. Closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Government Code 54956.9, parentheses D, parentheses 1, Fraser Park Public Utility District versus DNC Elite Properties LLC et al., Kern County Superior Case Number BCV-24-10199, and we are going into closed session at 4:10.
Okay, give me a second.
And we will be back, shortly, everyone else. Thank you for your patience.
We're gonna put D in,
Lisa,
D in, there's two Ds, Elisa,
I hope. Oh my God.
I think you're on twice, Dee.
Yeah, he does either turn his computer off or his phone off or whatever.
Mary, I think you're hot mic.
We'll see if I made it back.
You made it.
You made it back.
Good, okay.
And we've got Lisa back. Do we have Becky back yet?
We do not yet.
She takes it's 30 seconds or something. And then
Yeah,
before
for
it
it to
automatically-
auto.
Yeah,
that.
She probably forgets to push the button.
yeah. She just waits for it to push her back in. And it does.
Excuse me, everyone, just confirming there's nothing to report on the closed session.
Yeah.
Nothing to be reported.
Yeah,
Okay,
we already know that. Thank you, Mark.
You betcha.
There she
Bye.
is. Have a good night.
Okay. We, oral announcements following closed session, government code 54957.1, parentheses A, the legislative body of any local agency shall publicly report any action taken in closed session and the vote or abstention on that action of every, member is present thereon. We are returning from closed section at 4:26 PM and there is no action taken. Okay, we can move on to 5. Report of officers. The president is absent. I'm the vice president. I don't have anything to add. The secretary,
I just signed some minutes.
okay. Treasurer, you have anything to report?
I made some transfers, but if there's any questions on those, I can talk to him about them in the financial section.
Okay. And the JPI representative?
I have nothing.
Okay. 6, is there any board member initiatives? Not hearing any. 7, managers report.
All right, unfortunately, we had a break-in at, Wolf Tank. Cut the lock off, pried the door to the generator open, stole battery, 12-volt battery. So I had the guys pull all the batteries from all the sites, bring them back here, and then they put a new lock on the gate at Wolf. A few days later, they went back, cut the lock off again, hoping, I would imagine, that there's another battery there. So I called M&S Security, because this is gonna be an ongoing thing now they know. And they're getting me a quote for, alarm systems at each of the sites. So I'll let you guys know what that
So
is.
we're keeping the batteries locked up here, and then I guess if we need them, we have to cart them up there.
Currently in the C-train, that's what we're doing, but if we, can afford whatever the alarm system is, that'll be
Right,
better. But yeah, right now they're in the C-train, so,
yeah,
it's just unfortunate that we have to go through that.
yeah,
We had a inspection by JPIA, I forget what they call it, but they came and looked at everything. The only thing they said that, we need to consider, and this is for D, is that any tank replacement, now that they want to see either a landing every, whatever it was, 20 feet, or a staircase instead of the straight up ladders for liability's sake. So that's something that maybe we could incorporate in the design when we get ready.
what do you mean a landing?
Like 10 feet up, there'll be a land, or 20 feet up, there'll be a place you step
Oh,
off the ladder and
oh,
stand on
okay.
that, and then you go up another one.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, instead of just a straight up and down 24-foot ladder, so,
So they want stairs and then a landing and the stairs to the.
well, they said stairs, or if it's a straight up ladder, you'll go up, halfway probably, and then have a landing to step on and then go up another one, another flight, so I'll work with Dee on that, but that's what she had said.
Okay,
And then the only other update I got is covered by line item.
okay, perfect. Any questions? Not hearing any, then we'll go on to 7A, administrative, assistance report.
No updates, all agenda items.
Okay. 8, we'll go on to 8, standing committee reports, accounts payable committee.
We met, we, went through invoices. We asked Deborah to cut checks and we'll talk about everything in financials.
Okay. State update, meeting hasn't happened. It'll be next week. And That'll be Lisa and Terry attending, because I'll be out of town. Quality, Financial Standing Committee,
Quarterly,
quarterly.
we met and went through, and it only took us about an hour to get through it, so it went extremely well.
Okay, all right, moving on. Any questions? Okay, moving on to number 9, ad hoc committee reports. Planning Project Committee, we have not met. Easement and, Deeds Committee,
We've not met.
okay, Rate Study Committee, we met and, went over the, some of the questions that Jeffrey had, and, we'll be dealing with that in the agenda items. Bond Book Committee,
We met
Audit,
briefly.
you wanna do it?
Sure. Just
Go ahead, Lisa.
so we met ever so briefly because there was a question from our auditors, and so we sent a copy of the page. There was a question in regard to the principal amount. They had a different amount than we did. I sent a copy of or actually Tiffany sent a copy of the bond book page. I took a picture and sent it. She took a scan and sent it. And so they got that. And then I sent them the current database. It's not completed, but I sent them everything that we have thus far. And Scott, our auditor, who is still working on it, I guess, even though we have the other woman that's doing it as well. But he was very happy with that, getting the database. He said that was extremely helpful because he could see some of the things that he wasn't understanding. So that's where we're at. We still have a lot of work to do on the actual database, mostly the going backwards part. The going forwards is not so difficult. The going backwards is pretty difficult to do all the formulas. It's just a mess. You have to do everything by hand. And but we've gotten, I think one of the loans is completed. I think it was loan 3, loan 4, we're still working on, and then loan 6 we're still working on. It's really hard to see, so I think at some point what we need to do is to go to a printing place and get a big printout of it, because when I tried to print it as an 11 by 14, whatever the biggest size is that we have, it was still way too small to be able to read it. So we need a very large printout in order to be able to read it, to go back and forth and put the right numbers in the computer. It's just really hard to see the database on a computer unless you have a huge screen it's on. And that's where we're at on that.
okay. Are there any questions from anybody? Okay, not hearing any. Employee Handbook Committee,
We've not met. I guess it's still at the attorneys.
I haven't updated on the line item for that.
5-year Budget Committee, I think we've got a date for sometime in March, but because I'm not gonna be here for 2 weeks.
Right.
So me and Lisa will have to come up with a date. I'm not sure if we already did. I have to look and see. And Parcel B Project Committee.
That's you and Lisa again.
You wanna go ahead, Lisa?
Well, we haven't met as a committee. We've just been getting some emails, and I'm still not completely. I think Dee will update us on that when we get there.
There's an agenda item.
Okay. Oh, and it's an agenda item too. Okay. All right. On the financial business. What happened to financial business?
10?
Oh, number 10. Discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information. You're up, Deborah.
Okay, so we prepared one check out of the planning account. For $9,876.59 payable to D. Jaspar. And then we prepared 37 checks out of the revenue operating, totaling $69,579.84. And the extraordinary disbursements include the JPIA disbursement of $13,009.33. The primary visa, $6,231.23. Barbage, Hooper, King, Dill, Hoffman, auditors, $8,200. Ferguson Enterprises, $3,527.76, a total of 2 invoices. Navalis Enterprises, $3,483.67, a total of 2 invoices. Edison, $8,107.38. A disbursement for $3,021 to Young Woolridge, and a second disbursement of $6,728.82 to Young Woolridge. And that's all I have.
Okay, are there any, questions?
I have a
Not-
question, not for Deborah,
Sure.
but for Johnny. I think there were two things. He wasn't there when we were doing the AP committee. One was a gas expense, which was not very much. It was only $16, and we were just trying to. We don't think it went to the trucks because it's so little. We kind of figured maybe it was for filling one of the like weed whack. We didn't know, but we didn't think it went to the truck, so we were just trying to figure out where to categorize it.
Yeah, sorry, the receipt thing at the pump didn't print it out and I didn't go in and get a copy, but it was for a gas can.
Oh, to purchase a gas can.
Yeah.
So Deborah,
No, I
wherever.
mean, it was for gas in the gas can for the water pump and the equipment like that, the small equipment,
Weed whackers.
weed whackers, and although we didn't use the weed whackers, but it was for the trash pump.
So I don't know what you had that as, Deborah. We said we were going to get back to you and change the classification because I think it was on a truck right now, maybe, or I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My tongue is not cooperating here. It was categorized as fuel gas. And
So then that's
yeah,
That's fine.
it wasn't categorized to any particular truck.
okay. So that was the one question, and then the second one was a credit card. It was Amazon, and there wasn't a receipt, and so I think it just said that the receipt was that you couldn't find the receipt, but we didn't know what it was for.
Yeah, that's the one that Deborah's gonna have to keep an eye out for because when I go on the Amazon account, I can't find that dollar amount. Usually that's because it's of a bigger, the way they split it up on the orders, but I went through every order and I can't find where that is. I even, to make sure that I didn't like order something on my account, that wouldn't happen anyway, but anyway, I can't find it nowhere. So maybe I need to actually check my phone and see if I have something that tells something, but yeah, so I don't know. So Deborah's gonna have to watch for that. It was by $31.
Okay.
It,
You wanted to say something, Deborah?
no, not at this time.
Oh, okay. Okay, if that's it,
Yeah,
I'll
that was the only two questions.
okay, I'll entertain that we, pay our bills.
I'll make the motion that we pay our bills.
I'll second it.
Okay, the, motion has been made by Director Kelling and seconded by Director Gibson. Roll call of directors. Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
and Director Garcia is absent, and, Director Nyman's an aye. So that's 4-0, 1 absent. Okay, and I think, we don't need,
Deborah,
Deborah anymore. Thank you, Deborah.
have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Have
you,
a good
Deborah.
evening. Have a good weekend, everyone.
You too, Deborah.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, so we're moving,
Becky, Johnny's got your check. I don't know who, he'll get it to you or you'll come in and get it or whatever, but
Oh, yeah, yeah, give it to Tiffany. She'll, or put it in my box. Oh, yeah, now I got a drawer. Okay. Yeah, just hold
Yeah.
on to it, please.
yes.
okay, number
Thank you.
11, discussion vote update on, Fraser Park Oakdale Woods Consolidation Planning Project. A, discussion vote review of project timeline and budget.
Can I stop you guys for a second? My camera turned off because somebody called me on my phone. What does that mean?
You're still on, Lisa.
You're okay, Lisa, you never left.
Oh,
You
okay.
were on the line.
You're good. Okay. Timeline B?
Sorry.
Timeline and budget, no changes.
Okay, B, discussion vote on acquisition development of well 9 and additional booster tank site, certificate of compliance, lot line adjustment. Where do we stand on that, D?
Well, certificate of compliance has been filed with the county. I'm waiting for them to, send us the approval. And they move at a real slow pace. So anyway, it's filed, and I anticipate it will be recorded soon. And the district will know, you'll get a notice, I think, Tiffany.
Okay. So nothing else, we can move on to C, discussion vote on memorandum of understanding.
We're not doing anything.
Yeah, they sent,
I know that
Okay.
something was sent, but I haven't had even a time to look at it.
right,
Oh, from their attorney?
Yes.
yeah, from like what they sent.
So
a
could you
draft
just make
in the-
sure that everybody gets a copy of that in their drawer so that they can pick it up and take a look at that?
Okay,
And I'll come and pick it up when I get back. Do you have anything to add, Joan or Pam?
No, our boards reviewed it, our attorney drew it up, so I know it might be a little, anyways, if you have questions, just let us know.
Okay, yeah, we have to review it. Like I said, we just got it like a day ago and I haven't had a chance to even, look
Yeah,
at
sorry for the delay,
Yeah. Well, I'm
Can
leaving.
I ask, because Director Nyman is not going to be, or you aren't going to be here at the next meeting, right? Or you are?
I'll be at the next meeting, but I'm just getting back, so I'll be,
Okay.
Okay,
because I was
only
going to
that-
move it forward. I was going to move it forward to the March meeting, but if you're here, then we can do that at the meeting if we need to.
Okay. Okay, so we can move on. Number D, discussion vote on Lake of the Woods project and consolidation.
Okay, so the $5 million project, as of the 23rd, Jonathan said the project was added to the fundable list. Environmental and financial reviews have been completed, and then yesterday we received a request for more information for the general package. They want an updated one and another resolution done. So we're working on all of that. He's not going to be back into the office until the 19th. So we've got some time to get it there. My plan is to have it on his desk when he arrives. And then well number 4, results from January show that iron is less than 100, which is under the 300 max level, and manganese is less than 20, which is still under the 50 max level. And this has been the same level most of 2025 with a few rises in April and July, but none have been over the max level. Just for reference, the blending station for nitrates were 2.53. Fluoride was 1.1 for January. We've seen fluoride stay consistently under the 1.2 for all of last year, and the highest nitrates we got was August of last year at 3.28. So we're holding steady. Wells from last month are down 1.5 feet to up 12.2 feet. From January 2024, they're down 14.5 feet and up 10.5 feet. In January of 2025, they're down 31 feet to up 4.8. And I think that's it. Did you guys have any questions, or do you want me to remove any of this information for future?
No, I think it's good. Let me-
I like having it, Pam.
Okay.
If,
I know, but I got an answer here.
if you don't mind,
So,
Yeah.
not you, Pam, but I think it'd be Brahma and the board. I just got a call from the state regarding our combined projects, and I really need to return that. So I'll put myself on mute, and if we could skip 12 and 13, I'll be right back. And
okay,
too, but gotta make that contact.
okay,
Thank you, Dee.
all right, we'll go ahead and, have a motion made, but we can go on to, it is 4:45, Director Garcia is now in attendance of the meeting. So he is back. He is here. Okay, on to E, discussion vote, claims and payout,
There's nothing.
and there is nothing.
Not till next
Actually,
2 weeks.
have you heard anything, Carlos, about the 2 claims yet?
I have not. I've sent Eric a few messages and he hasn't responded. So maybe you can send him a message, Tiffany, to see if that rattles anything.
Okay, I will email him.
Okay. Can we make a motion, to move 12 and 13 to be gone back to, when Dee returns?
I will make a motion that we, move 12 and 13 to, when Dee, becomes present again.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Hi.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
and Director Nyman's and I. So it's five approved, motion carried. Okay. So we'll go on to 14, discussion vote on rate study, discussion vote on resolution FP 2026-0212-01, resolution establishing procedures for a Proposition 218 majority protest hearing and calling a majority protest hearing on a proposed increase in the district water rate and usage rate.
So the draft resolution's in your book.
Now, this is the one that the attorney did?
Correct. So not the first one in that tab, but the second one. The resolution. The first one's the notice, the second one's a resolution.
Right.
Okay.
The only things that. Well, you'll see there's things we need to fill in once we decide on dates.
Okay. Okay, you, now, we don't need to read this whole resolution. I don't think.
Do you?
Okay, well. Okay, in the matter of, a resolution establishing procedures for a Proposition 218 majority protest hearing and calling for a majority protest hearing on proposed increase in the district's base water rate and usage rate. This is before the Board of Directors of Fraser Park Public Utility District Resolution Number FP-202-60212-01. Whereas through the adoption of Proposition 218, which added Article 13D, Section 6 to the State of California's Constitution, public agencies are required to hold a majority protest hearing before they may adopt an increase in certain property-related fees, charges, and whereas this board has utilized the services of Self-Help Enterprises to perform a rate study entitled Fraser Park Public Utility District Rate Study, which is attached as Exhibit A in the resolution, whereas the rate study recommends that in order to account for increased expenses and to restore reserve account balances, districts should increase its rates. Whereas this board has determined that this rate increase provided herein are necessary in the best interest of the district and its customers. Now therefore, the board of the directors on the Fraser Park Public Utility District does hereby resolve, declare, and order as follows. One, adoption of the rate study. The district hereby adopts the findings and conclusions set forth in the rate study. Two, statement of legislative intent. It is the district's intent in adopting this resolution to adopt and call for a majority protest proceedings which are consistent and in compliance with Article 13D, Section 6 of the California Constitution. Three, base rate, water rate increase proceedings. The following procedures have been developed in order to comply with the provisions of Article X111D. Section 6 of the California Constitution shall be followed by the district in the public presentation of proposed increase and associated policy herein mentioned as it relates to the district's base water rate. A, amount of the base increase. The district has caused to be prepared an independent water rate study with the assistance from the State Water Resources Control Board prepared by Self-Help Enterprises. The rate study, if the proposed increase on the district's base water rate is adopted after the public hearing, the district's base water rates will increase effective May 1st, 2026 by a flat amount for each connection size for the first year. Then the increase 3% for every year for the second through fifth years. The usage rate will increase to $3.20 per 100 cubic feet used for the first year, then continue to increase by 3% for the second through fifth year. The following are proposed rates for the reference years by meter size and are recommended in the rate study.
Can I stop for a second and ask a question?
Sure.
I thought because we're starting this later that the first year we're not going to be able to count. Is that not correct?
Well,
Because isn't the first is what are we calling the first year? 26, 27?
Yeah, she doesn't.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it is not 25, 26. Okay, that's fine then.
Oh, it's 26, 27.
Okay.
When I looked at the, yes. Yes,
It doesn't say it on the little chart, and I didn't see where it said that. So
yeah. So, the first year, okay, it's a 3/4 inch meter. The current, monthly base rate is 77.24. In the first, is that correct?
70. Wait, no, it's 72.74 is the current, so it's a typo.
So that's a typo.
Oh, 72.74?
Yeah, that's why I was like 72,
We'll correct
74.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so that needs to be corrected. Okay, so the first year, the base rate for a 3/4 inch meter will be $80.56. The second year,
is that correct, or is that based on the 77.24?
what do you mean?
No, we decided to go on that
Based on typo.
that isn't, that's not a 3% or 10% increase from the 72. So we decided at the meeting to just start at the $80.
Well, he's got,
Even on the old one?
so that whole current monthly base rate column is incorrect. At least it doesn't match the one on the rate study. So it could be, yeah, that whole column is it. Current base rates are incorrect.
The
But
whole column, the current monthly base rate is?
current monthly base rate, the whole column is incorrect.
I think that's where it was, because originally we were gonna be starting before. So we're increasing in May first.
The rest of it's correct. I'm
Well-
comparing it to the rate study because
Well,
the resolution gets the,
wait a second, is the resolution incorrect? Because,
The rate study says,
he's got the rate study through 30/31, but
yeah,
if we're starting May first, isn't that considered the first year?
yeah.
Well, we can't start May 1st and call it the first year because May 1st is not our fiscal year. Our fiscal year starts in July. So it's therefore 2 months of the previous year. So I don't know how we're gonna do that. Wouldn't it be much better to start it at the beginning of our fiscal year? Because it's
I
gonna be
agree.
really confusing.
Yeah,
then I would stop everything we're doing and everything's gonna have to be redone.
Why? If we would have done it in January, it still would have been 26, 27. Because we're in 26.
No, it would have been 25, 26. It can't be
Fiscal year.
26, 27 because of our fiscal year. So that's why I'm asking that question, because even if we start in May, it's not really 26, 27. 26, 27 starts July
Right, okay. gotcha.
26. So there's this, so this is very confusing. That's why I asked, because it basically either in
feel-
January or in May, it would be 25, 26.
Right.
And then we've got 5 years, then it's really 6 years we're talking about and not 5 years. Or the chart, or we need to draw, yeah, it's just, it's not right. The chart's not right.
well, because what I was gonna say, the first year and second year would be the 80.56, because that's what it says when I read the when I read his report says that we're starting in
25, 26.
let me see right here. It says very
Yeah, he has 25, 26 at 80.56 and 26, 27 at 80.56.
yeah.
Yes.
So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can't do 6 years.
You can't do 6 years, so
That's why
what
I think, I don't think we need to start over again. I think we just need to state that we're starting in July and not starting in May.
Exactly. You're not understanding, Jeffrey. If we're starting the rates on July 1st, he will redo the calculations in the rate study. And it just has to be done.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense if he's got 80.56 for May and 80.56 for the first year.
Because we've gone through this with Jeffrey delaying it at least 2 or 3 times already. And I'm telling you exactly what he said. If we delay it and we're gonna start the rates July 1st, he will redo his chart.
Then we can start the rates on May 1st, but the year 1 is going to be 25, 26. Year 2 is going to be 26, and we have to drop off year 5 or something, then that chart has 6 years associated with it. So something would have to drop off the last year if we start in
that's
May.
And he's gonna have to do calculations.
that's why he redid the chart. So the chart would still start at 80.56, but so it would change the calculations for the 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna have to change.
So,
So we can't,
okay, so,
so I would say,
well, let's go, well, let's just, we need to make sure,
we can't pass anything.
I'm not saying we're gonna pass anything, but we still need to review it so that it can be done correctly and be finished. So when it comes back, it's correctly and then we can pass it.
It,
So, I mean,
well, no matter what I'm saying, you're gonna review the whole thing again because it's all
Yeah.
gonna change. So yeah, you can look at a couple words here and there, but it's all gonna have to come back May, June, July.
well, I
Between a
also
month
don't
and
want
2
it, I
months
just don't want it to come back and then we change something else that requires him to do we still need to review his rate study anyways. His rate study, I wanna people to look at it.
Yeah, you still. I'm saying, yeah, everything's gonna change.
Okay.
And then
so-
you'll review it today and then
So
you'll.
are
I
we agreeing?
Okay, can I ask? I don't understand why everything needs to change if you call year one 25, 26, but we only get 2 months of year one and then we go to year two. That's what I think you have to do. Because he doesn't even have money to continue the rate study. So the only way that I can think that it would even happen is if we do change it in May, like it says here, then we would need to drop off year 5.
Yeah,
That
but,
wouldn't put enough into the.
but that's not putting enough into the,
CIP, so.
CIP, so we need to, I mean,
It would, everything.
Well,
would shift.
the amounts that would be going
it's
into
gonna
the
be a
CIP.
nominal amount shift.
But it would make the rate study no longer accurate. He has to adjust all the numbers.
And he has to do that because he has to prove what he has to prove. Good. It's not just because he's being picky.
Right.
No, I mean.
Or
the
he
calculation-
just adjusts the CIP and we be okay with that. So the CIP would be a little bit less. It would be missing 10 months of the base rate change for year one. I'm just saying because he's not even getting paid for this rate study anymore. I'm really concerned. So if we are going to do, and it's wrong right now, and something has to change, but the simplest way would be to adopt it for 25, 26, but only 2 months of 25, 26. And then the other years going forward, that wouldn't be a lot of changes. And then we would have to change the amount that's going into the CIP and be okay with that. So it would be less than what we thought, but it wouldn't be significantly less. It would be less by 10 months of year one.
I don't see why that wouldn't work. Cause, you guys make adjustments to the CIP all the time.
That's the only way I can see fixing this without it becoming this incredible problem. and
Right, well,
he's
we
not
don't-
getting paid.
Right. I think we need, why don't we correct the resolution and up where it says year one, put it as, 26.
25, 26?
25, 26, and we only do 2 months of year one, and that would have to be explained to the public, and then it would have to jump to year two because we couldn't get this done in time.
Well, then
So
you're gonna
there's-
have to,
Can it be
then you're
explained?
gonna have to change, you're gonna have to change the wording back over here because he says, he basically says in here that we're starting May 1st and then we're doing a year, then you're not doing a year at 80/56. And I don't think that that's good for the public. Because they're gonna be upset because they're immediately gonna go 80/56 to 82/98. We cannot do that.
Okay, well, otherwise, we have to drop off the last year because
You'll
either
just
way,
have to
it's
plug-
6 years.
And it'll be easy enough.
Yeah, well, to make it simpler, why don't we just do the July thing? Just have him
Well,
change.
We tried to tell him that we wanted to do it in July, and he came back and saying, no, he was gonna start it in May.
So we
But
want
he's
year
not-
one, July first.
Right.
He's
We want
not
year-
understanding our fiscal year because we're not starting it. And if that's the case, then we're starting it in 25, 26, and we cannot change that. Our fiscal year starts July, and we're not going to change that. That would be insane. So
Yeah,
So year 5 starts July 2030.
Everything shifts. So,
I want to make sure I understand it, so when I go back. to
well, I don't
Jeffrey-
think
so
you can do.
I-
I'm
Right.
worried, Tiffany, because you can only do 5 years for the rate study, right? So he's tacking on an extra 2 months. Is that something you can do?
No, we're saying we're not tacking on an extra 2 months, right? We're starting at July 1st.
right, so basically on his
Mm.
rate study, the first tab that he's got there goes away. And it still remains the same 5 years, 26, 27, 27, 28, 28, 29, 29, 30, and 30, 31.
That should
If you-
take him no time to make that adjustment.
I mean, he just has to get rid of the first
column.
column off of his report.
Yeah, it should be easy to.
And then change,
And then change,
what's gonna go into the CIP?
well, yeah, I mean.
No,
if
then
he-
it would be accurate. If you do it the way that Brahma's suggesting, then it would be accurate what's going into the CIP because we would be starting year 1 in 26, 27. If we start year 1 in May, then we only have 2 months before it's year 2.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, cause he's got there $8,000 going into the CIP. So starting July first, we'd start putting in, this, what is it? He's got 78,000, which becomes,
Well,
It would be
That'll
the
be up to
same, it would
you
just
to
drop
decide
off the first 2 months.
what he has to do.
right, so he's,
I'm just gonna tell him year 1 will start July 1st, 26.
yeah,
He will then do whatever it is he needs to do
right,
to continue that.
yes.
He'll know what he has to do.
The only thing that makes sense.
Yes, that's what we need to do. And,
Now, the resolution, can
Okay,
you
so-
change, or does it have to go back
no,
to?
no, it doesn't.
No, I can change. I have the Word document of the rest.
Yeah. And so what I would ask you to do is where it says year 1, 2, 3, can we put the years in that? In
Well,
the title,
put-
on the table?
Yeah,
Right, yeah, I have that on there. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna put, 20, 26, 27 in the first year on the table
right.
and go across.
July 20,
It's
July
20
2026 to
It's 26,
2027.
Yeah, July till June.
Yeah, so we're gonna do July to June.
Till the end, the
27.
last day of June, yeah.
And year 5 will complete June 31.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, cause we can't go immediately to the second year, so that won't fly. So we need that gives them a year to be at the new rate.
Plus, I prefer to start at the beginning of a fiscal year so we
Yes.
can evaluate over the years how
Right.
it's working,
Yeah.
instead of having that weird
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
fraction of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the past, the way we did it when we started in January is we ate the first 5 months. We didn't do the first months of the year, of that particular year.
right. So we ended up really not getting the full amount.
Right, we only got 6 months of the amount.
Okay. So that's that. Okay, so then we need to, so we're gonna make those changes, cause the rest follows whatever dates we have to have, right? And we'll define the date.
I mean, I think all the other dates can stay the same if it gives us enough time to send out the notices and everything. Like that doesn't have to change necessarily. It just,
Right,
the start date is changing.
right.
Our timeline will change
Yes.
The what?
for the rollouts and the public hearing.
Everything will have to change.
Well, yeah, because we're not.
Because it has to be so many days before and so many days after, and so we have to change the timeline for the hearings.
If you know, squared away though, and let us know.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so the next thing,
Are you done with the resolution or are you keeping going?
yeah, I think we're done with the resolution. I don't know that there's anything, because the other dates because you only, I don't think we need to read the rest of the resolution. I think that, everything is about how we're gonna mail public hearing protest, what it'll be set forth on that date, and you've got that highlighted. This just tells about I don't think that we need to read all this.
Yeah, I
this is
don't think
all-
that necessarily changes. I think,
Doesn't change, and our lawyer has provided us with this. So, the main part that I read is what was important, and we're changing that stuff. So. Okay, so, then we'll go on,
Are you, okay, just so I can verify, we don't need to look at the hearing notice yet?
so,
Well,
yeah, the vote of the date of the public hearing, we don't know yet. That's this one, right?
So we'll
You're-
review that when we get.
and I believe he has the amounts correct in the rate study itself, but
Yeah.
not in this
Okay, so,
resolution.
like I said, he'll just eliminate that one column, because he's got 6 columns there. So he'll eliminate the first column, because the first column says 25, 26.
I think Tiffany should do that, right? Oh, no, he has to redo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna
He's gonna do
redo
the rate
it,
study.
he's gonna let his program run, because in the last 2 months, he has us putting in $8,000. And so that he's gonna probably get rid of, or he's gonna figure it into the, that little shift. Which I don't, like I said, it's not that big a consequence, as far as when it comes to rates. So, okay, so,
But he will need to adjust his assumptions on page 4
okay,
because
we're gonna
it's
get to the
2027.
rate-
Okay.
We're gonna get to the rate study. So right
Okay.
now, we don't need to review. Do you want me to just leave this in the book? Cause okay, so I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We read on.
we won't have a discuss, we're getting rid of a date for the public hearing will be re-put on the agenda at the time when it's necessary. Okay? C, discussion vote on hold harmless agreement.
So this was the disclaimer. There was a disclaimer in the original rate study that was removed. So instead of having it in the rate study, we separated it out. And it has been already signed, sent to self-help and accepted by self-help.
Okay, and we.
So this is kind of like an
Right, and we
after fact, so everybody
approved
knows.
this prior, we approved this the last meeting. We didn't?
No, because we asked the attorney to write it. No, not even at the meeting,
Not even.
because that was you and I.
Okay,
At the.
okay, so
at the-
I'll make a motion that we approve.
You can't make the motion. You're running the
Oh,
meeting.
I can't, I entertain a motion.
I don't know if you and, Becky understand how this got to be. Self-help self-help didn't, no, the attorney took out the disclaimer in the 218. He said that it couldn't be in there. So then, we went to the attorney to do this agreement to hold them harmless. So it's a separate agreement, but because we couldn't have the disclaimer saying that we wouldn't hold them harmless in the 218, because then people could come back to us and tell us that it was not, how did you put it? A study.
Well, we don't wanna give, we're not
We don't
saying
wanna
too much
say too
about
much.
that disclaimer.
Yeah, so we couldn't have it in there per our attorney. So there was
It
back
was
and
just
forth.
broken out.
So it's broken out, so we have a separate hold harmless agreement.
Apparently it was in our previous 218. It should not have been, and we never sent our 218 to our attorney.
As far as we remember.
As far as we remember, and when the attorney reviewed it, he said it could not be in the 218. It should never have been in the 218. And so therefore, we authorized the lawyer to write up a separate agreement that would not be in, and that was acceptable to Self-Help Enterprises. And then we sent the letter to them. Okay.
So it's all been accomplished, we're just showing you after the fact.
So we're just, it's been accomplished, we're just showing you after the fact.
Well,
Well,
thank
we
you.
do or we do not need to vote on it.
We do.
It's entirely up to you guys.
I mean, I guess we can just, I entertain a motion that we, accept this letter, this harmless, this agreement to hold harmless that our attorney has done, that we have sent to, Self-Help Enterprises.
After the fact, signed.
After the fact.
I accept that friendly amendment.
Who seconds it?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call the directors. Director, Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
And Director Nyman's an aye, 5-0-0, so that is complete. Okay, so we don't have, but we do have it on, we need to go over the rate study.
Yeah, that's
That's just,
part of the resolution, so
so it's part of the resolution. Okay, so,
yes, you could go over.
okay, I'm a little confused when it says water system. He says, on the third paragraph down, you should have that in your.
Yeah.
In your book. Yes, you can have that.
It's a
It's,
15, the last,
it's page, yeah, yeah,
second to last paper under 15.
right, but I pulled mine,
Yeah,
out, gave it to him, cause I had one you gave me previously.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so on page 1, down towards the bottom, this whole thing, I'm confused on how if we shouldn't reword this, or if this shouldn't be reworded.
What's that?
FPPUD is engaging in a potential plan to consolidate Lake of the Woods Mutual Company in the future as part of a plan to deliver safe, clean water to the region. Okay, that's fine. While details and timelines are worked out over the next, shouldn't that be years?
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to have been months, but.
Years. It says, it is crucial that any long-term operational plan maintains flexibility to make effective, efficient decisions as well as maximize opportunities in the future to pursue assistance for several situations, select situations.
I
by
think
doing
the
this.
reason, sorry. I think the reason why it says months is because he's probably going by the fact that our planning only goes to a timeline of May, correct? So I think that what he's saying here is that we're working out the details and the timelines, but not the construction or anything. So I think theoretically it's okay. I mean, it's not several, it's more
Right.
than several, but it's not necessarily years because because basically the year details, that's part of a completely different, that's not details and timelines, that's actual construction.
Okay,
So leave it alone.
so, yeah,
Well,
guess
I mean, I guess you can leave it alone. It's not quite several months. It's out over the, maybe it should just say while details and timelines are being worked out in the planning portion of this project, it is crucial that any long-term operational plan maintains flexibility to make blah, 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 blah. Because I think basically what he's saying is the initial stuff, we have to complete all the initial stuff by the end of the planning period, but that doesn't mean we're done.
well, what would you want to put in there?
While
Yeah, but we got
details and timelines are being worked out through the planning or through the planning, I don't know, something about the planning, um,
Planning
whatever,
phase.
planning phase of this project, it is crucial that any long-term operational plan maintains flexibility.
Okay, that's fine. So while it's being worked out through the planning phase of this project, it is crucial that any long-term operational plan maintains flexibility to make effective decisions as well as blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. Or you guys were good with that?
Makes it sound good.
Okay, so then, go on to page 2. Based, the second paragraph, based on sales data, 42% of the water was sold between
Between the months of October and March.
So it's kind of confusion too. The lower percentage of water pumped during, it should be other months where the weather could be cooler. Shouldn't that say during other months where the weather could be cooler is typical?
No, because 42% is not the full amount of water. So what he's saying is 42% less water was sold between October and March because it's winter or fall and winter.
Well,
The lower percentage of water pumped during the months when the weather could be cooler is typical. The increase is between spring and summer, which is whatever 58%. Wait, yeah.
Well, okay, so, despite the increased use between spring and summer months, finances are stable even when revenue decreases in fall and winter. There is no indication of excessive hardship put on a water supply or FPPUD finances during warmer months. Furthermore, the 2-month period.
Well, the only thing that I think is wrong in there is there is it's not excessive hardship, but there's hardship put on the water supply because of the whole issue with the well. But I don't know if we even want to get into that. But there is, that's not exactly a completely accurate statement because there is a hardship put on the water supply during the spring and summer months, but not a hardship put on the water supply from October to March, or not as much. But the paragraph itself makes sense.
Okay, all right, I'm okay with that. Okay, page 3. A rate study was conducted. Expenses were projected 3%, however, so it's saying operating increased 5.2 between 20 and 23, 34% in 22-23. It decreased 18.2, 20-24.
Yeah, I don't know why it says decreased. Is that correct?
I don't know. It says these increases have been due to it says employee costs, including wages. Wouldn't that be employer? If he's gonna say including wages, employer costs? Shouldn't that be employer costs?
No, he's saying the increases have been due to employee costs because their wages went up along with repair and maintenance costs. However, I don't know what that decrease is from. Is that the year that we didn't have as many employees where it wasn't costing, and we had some single employees that our costs were a little bit lower because it's not quite as expensive as far as the benefits, or is that just wrong?
You have any input on this, Johnny? And
That's the thing you would have to-
right now, I haven't been listening.
That's something we would have to ask Deborah, because I don't know what our balance sheet shows for the year 22,
Yeah.
23, or 23, 24.
23, 24, we only had a skeleton crew out in the field because I was trying to keep it down to 2 people instead of the 4 that were approved. So it would certainly be a lot less in insurance, wages, disability, all that stuff.
Okay. Okay,
But you still need to, I don't know, that may be correct, but then it says these increases have been due to employee costs, but there's nothing that explains why it decreased. So I think there needs to be something in there, because it doesn't make sense to someone just reading this who doesn't know that we had a skeleton crew, or who doesn't, like, it's not going to make sense to the average reader of this. If those numbers are all correct, it's not going to make sense. So the sentence that says these increases have been due to employee costs, that makes sense, but it needs to also have a sentence that says something about, the decrease was based on, less employees at that time or something. I don't know, whatever it needs to say. And then these increases have been due to employee costs. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Someone reading this is going to go, well, then why did it decrease? So it was increasing, and then in 23, 24 it decreased, and why do we need to raise rates? You know what I mean?
and the other question is, why wouldn't he extrapolate out, at least 2024?
This is why we probably need to, unfortunately, pay, because now they've run out of money for this, and I don't know how we're going to make all these changes with them.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me.
And then also his numbers for, for 24, 25 revenue and expenses. And then he says that we had a ordinary increase, but actually, if you take the, it would be then a decrease, wouldn't have been an increase.
No, he's saying 24, 25, there was an increase.
Of debt.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Ordinary revenue was 1,000,005, while total ordinary expenses were 1,000,001 with a net, that would be correct, with a net ordinary increase of
Oh, okay.
396,000.
Okay,
Yeah, that's okay. And then, yes, expenses are anticipated to increase. A clarification and replacement fund requirements mandated by USDA resulted in 750,000 being restricted for capital improvements. That's correct.
yeah.
Is that correct though, that the 86,000 and the operating revenue account is not enough to cover 1 month of ordinary expenses? Most of the time it is without drawing from other reserve accounts. But sometimes we have extraordinary expenses where we do have to draw from other accounts.
Well, I guess it would depend on the month.
The greatest majority of months, that would be plenty.
Yeah, I don't think that that's spelling it out well enough. I almost feel like we need to go through this a little bit more intensely, but I don't know when that's going to happen.
Gotta happen now. Cause we can't keep sending it back to him for more revisions.
Right, but we couldn't look at this because it wasn't accurate last meeting. So we tried, but it wasn't
Yeah.
accurate enough. So then I went back, and now we haven't really sat with this that long where we were able to fix anything else. I mean, some stuff, but I keep seeing more than I saw.
And what does he mean by currently there's that much? I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like we need one final go around with this with any changes, and then that needs to be, it's almost like he needs to be on the meeting, but I don't know how to do that. He's not being paid. It's a lot to ask. Because we can give him all these changes, or I guess we can give Tiffany all these changes, but
we have not had to take from other reserve accounts for,
Well, we just took,
periodically
Yeah.
we do. Periodically we go into the general fund.
took 20,000 out of one of the accounts just before I quit doing the account, which was like a month ago. Last month last month we did. We took $20,000 out of the general revenue account. It was either 20 or 25,000. We moved it.
yes, it was.
We
think about
moved it into
But it
the.
wasn't last month. It was several months ago.
Yeah, several months ago. Because I did the treasury last month,
The last couple of months she's done
at the
it.
end
So
of last month.
that was when I was doing it.
That was December. If nothing else, it was December.
No, it was further back than that.
It was December. We can look it up, but I'm pretty sure it was December because it was before Christmas and we were concerned about the wages.
Yeah.
And that's why we transferred that money because
We did. That's, I think, correct, that we didn't have enough to cover wages. So I mean, it's not far off. it just probably there's just little nuances that need to be, it's hard because if you're reading this as a member of the public or as someone who might, need to read this, if you don't know a lot about if you're not going to our meetings constantly, you're not going to understand like where it says the decrease or where it says, that we've had to borrow. I mean, that's accurate. We have had to borrow, but
Yeah.
it's not, but that 86,000 always having to be drawn from is not accurate. And the 86,000 fluctuates, so that operating revenue account fluctuates from month to month.
Yeah, it does.
Well, he was just saying currently, that was how much was in there when he did the report in the operating, which is not enough to cover 1 month of expenses without drawing from, he's just stating a fact. He's not saying that
Right.
we're drawing that every month.
Maybe it should just say like at the date of this report, there is 86,000, which is not enough to cover the month of ordinary expenses without drawing from a reserve account.
Well, you don't want to say
Because
the
he's
date,
only looking at,
because if
sorry,
you're
go
looking at the, then somebody's gonna wanna go and look at the date and say, well, what did we have on that date? What do we have in that account by our bank account?
Well, but if
Well-
I got this, and this is now February, is that what's in the account as of February?
No, it's not. That's
No.
not correct.
So it's not, it's, because this is saying currently there is that much money. I don't know what's in the,
Right, but that's
Revenue
what I'm
account.
saying is what, like, the
But
date
you
of the date of the report's gonna change because we don't have a date on this report.
no, it's, yeah.
He hasn't put a date on this
Well,
report.
but he needs to say not currently, he needs to say at the time of this writing or something, at the time of this report. It doesn't need a date. It just needs to say
Yeah.
that was the instance that particular month because he's only looking at a little snapshot. He's
Okay,
not looking
so
at long-term.
Okay, so we're gonna put in at the time of this report,
Yeah,
at the time,
there is 86,000 in operating, blah, 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 blah.
at the time,
Not currently.
this report, this study was done.
In the
was-
month the study was in the month that this study was, yeah, done's not the right word, but in the month the study was done, yeah, done's not the right word, but I don't know that, yeah, and then everything else would be fine.
Collection, in the month, the data was.
The
collected.
data month used or something in this report. I mean, it's like this in every report because it's like when our engineer does stuff, they say currently too, but it's assumed that it's not really current because it's whenever they looked at that little snapshot of whatever's going on.
Well, but then he needs to put that date on the report between this month and this month, or the month of, December or November of 25. That's what was in
Yeah, I
there.
could say in the month blah blah used as data for this report, blank was in the operating revenue account. Yeah, 86,000.
But do we know when that was? I don't know when he did this.
I don't
No. And I have, Terry, I mean, if you want because it's not the amount now but it changes every month. I printed out the amount we have in the bank account on Tuesday and it's in the drawer
Right,
if we want but that's neither here nor there because it changes every single month.
right, and that's why I don't think currently should be there.
And then I have a big favor to ask when we get through this, if we can take a break because I'm having to use the restroom and I have to be on camera the whole time.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what we wanna say. I don't, you know.
That's why I
Well-
almost feel like we need to each
Well,
take this. We did some homework on it, but there's even more stuff coming up now. And
are
this
you
is the
willing?
very most recent.
Well, we need to get this stuff done and before we can go back to him and so maybe somebody needs to, maybe you can step up while I'm gone. And maybe you and Terry can get together
Are
and
you on the rate? You're on the rate study?
I'm on the rate study. Me and Terry. So we could we can ask when we get to that one at the end of the meeting, we can have you fill in for the time that I'm gone.
Because I almost think like it needs to be gone over by whoever again. And I mean, but I could still submit to the rate study committee, but yeah, you're not going to be here. But what changes? I mean, I just think there's even more stuff here, and I read it, but I didn't. I'm seeing more. You know, the more I read it, the more I'm seeing. Sorry.
Way it is with
And I
the
know,
document.
and we're gonna have to fix it for him because he's not gonna. He has no money to spend a bunch of time fixing this, so it needs to be kind of fixed and ready to go for him to look at and say okay and fix it himself, and then, you know, just based on what we tell him, and then be done with it. But I don't, you know, he's not gonna want to have to try to figure all this out.
Okay, and then just on page 4, the thing that you would want to look at, where he has a assumptions. I'm not sure what
That was the part I was mentioning. The assumptions need to be changed because they're wrong right now based on what we talked about earlier.
Right. That would all have to be all redone.
It all needs to be altered, yeah. Well, not all, but for the most part, yeah.
okay. And, I mean, the rest of the report's fine and that I saw, but yeah, okay. So are you willing to do that, Lisa?
Are we able to meet by phone if like people are all sick? I don't want to be in like a meeting in the I mean, I have to come in next week for the state meeting, but I mean, I'm willing to go back through it and see whatever I can see again. And I guess everyone else, and then it would just, but because you're not really going to be able to update it, right? Because you're going to be gone.
I'm gonna be gone. And
He's
by
gone for 2 weeks.
and by the next meeting, if you guys have it ready, you know, I mean, I'm only gonna have I'm gonna be jet lagged and only back for like 2 days.
Are we allowed, Tiffany, to meet by phone, or do we have to meet in person for this? This is an ad hoc, right?
Can't you do like a
Ad hoc
Zoom?
is, you
Yeah,
can do whatever you
you
want.
can do what you want, a phone, Zoom,
There's no rules for ad hocs
you
like
could
that.
probably do a Zoom with Terry.
Okay. And theoretically, we could do a Zoom with him if we really needed
Right.
to, right?
He could too. You know, the other thing is, do we wanna, offer some payment for him to, I think we
That
should,
would be a Carlos question. I would ask Carlos.
Carlos,
He may have input.
Carlos, do you have any
Yeah,
input on that?
I think we can wait on offering payment until we talk internally with management, because there might be a way around this, but we'll have to talk about it first. But that won't be till Tuesday.
Okay. Okay, all right, so I think we've done what we can do tonight and, we'll go ahead and make that change or have have a motion made for you to fill in, um, uh, to be the alternate fill-in for that ad hoc, if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, and I sent Jeffrey a message so he can expect that there's gonna be some changes. And that way
Right.
we can talk, like I said, internally and see what we can do about finishing it up.
Right, okay, sounds good. All right, so we can go back to, number 12 now. I
Can
guess
we
the,
take a 5-minute break?
oh, okay, so I'll,
Make a motion that we, take a 5-minute, break.
okay, the motion has been, made by Director Kelly and seconded by Director Garcia. Roll call of directors. Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia, Director Kelly,
Aye.
and Director Nyman's and I, 50100. Will take a 5-minute break, and we will return.
The time is 5:44,
And
right?
It's not working. And I love it. Yeah. Do you want the shorter one too? I got it. There's a lot of people that are sick, huh? Yes. Stephanie go on her little trip? Or does Stephanie go to work? I don't know how to shut off my phone. I gotta keep it on, so. Oh, no. I'm gonna probably go in my room because my light's better in there. Well, go ahead. Okay, hon, Emma. You know, of course, you can come ask me anything, okay? Awesome. Sorry, it's.
Whoops, I'm back.
It's right on time. Okay, we are, back from our break at, 5:50. Okay, we'll go on to number, 12, discussion vote on well 8 pipeline replacement project. 8, discussion vote on engineering and design. What do you got, Dee?
Well, we received an email, I think Lisa was covered on that one too, from Jonathan Miras, who is our project manager at DFA, requesting that we do a complete engineering report for the combined projects, which, and he wanted that done by next Thursday. And these engineering reports take us quite a bit more time than that. And so I called, and of course, Jonathan left this morning, and he won't be back till the 18th. And the 18th was the date that DFA wants us to submit some material. So I called and I talked to Ileana. Anyway, one of the engineers on his staff. And in fact, I was talking to her. I think I'd excused myself from the meeting so I could go over this issue. What can we do to comply and at the same time try to get things done by the 18th, which is next Thursday. And so we talked about, just basically what we need to do, which is to, do basically a scope of work for the two projects as independent projects. And then write a technical memo that basically tells them, basically explains what we're doing on each one of those projects. And she said, we know what you want to do and we know exactly what, is being done. But we just want to dot the I's and cross the T's. And so a couple of short paragraphs describing the projects, put the budget together, the schedule and the scope, and we can do that. And then write somewhat of a technical review of each one of these projects. And that should be sufficient because really what they're trying to do is just satisfy some requirements that they have internally. And so, that relieved me greatly because I was trying to think of how we're going to write a whole engineering report now, combining two engineering reports that, are pages and pages and pages of material. So that I think we will meet the 18th deadline and we'll get things into them. Now, most of these guys are gone tomorrow and they won't be back till Tuesday. And so we'll get some things out on Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. I'll try to get some of this out and working with Carlos too a bit. He did a lot of the submittals for the pipeline replacement project. And so most of the questions that were asked in that email seem to be pretty straightforward. At first I was kind of shocked, and now we got a chance to get this done. So, and they want to work with us, so that's really great. So that's what we'll be working on next couple of days, putting things together and writing up descriptions and all of the rest of that that we talked about. So we're moving ahead with it, and we will be meeting their deadline on the 18th.
Okay. we can go on to B, discussion vote on project application. Is there anything, Carlos, that we need to be updated on, or we need to do anything?
No, just what Dee mentioned.
I'm
That's
sure.
that's in conjunction with that.
Okay.
And
Then we
Dee,
can,
oh, hold on, Brahma. Dee, just to answer your question from that email you sent me, we didn't have a technical memo done for the pipeline replacement project. It was just straight design plans and specs and stuff.
Okay, well, I'll, from talking to Ileana, in fact, I was talking to her when you were trying to call her, I think. So back and forth a little bit, but we'll cover that and get enough information on the technical memos that that'll satisfy that.
Okay,
I have a
and
question. Sorry.
yeah, one other thing, Dee, if when you send out emails, you can remove Kyle because I guess he has nothing to do with this, and include Audrey and Artina, which they're included in that last email that Ileana sent out. You're muted, D.
I'm just replying to the emails that were sent, I think, Carlos. So tell me who we remove.
Yeah, Audrey told me that she doesn't know why Kyle keeps getting tagged in these emails,
Okay.
and to include her and Artina in this, which they were in that last email that was sent by Ileana. So
Audrey Dyke, right?
yeah, Audrey Dye and Artina Kubiak or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So can I ask a question in regard to the project?
Yes.
Application, everything. So, so what you're doing is putting them together or writing them separately? I'm confused. Because now we have this issue with the potential issue of funding for the well 8 portion.
Yeah, Elisa, and that's one of my main concerns. And so we're writing them separately and submitting them together, and
Okay.
with the provision that that this we may not be ready to start this well 8 because of this issue with the land, and so we really prefer to just have two separate projects, because then we can get the pipeline project going and done. There's no questions about that. So I'll have those discussions with Ileana and Jonathan next week, but they will be separated as independent scopes of work.
Okay, but the reason that they put them together in the first place was because it carried more weight together, or I mean, I can't remember why in the first, because the pipeline was separate, and then the state chose to put them together when we asked to break out well 8 from the main planning project, from the main project, for the Lake of the Woods project. So was that because that was a necessity for that funding, or do we know?
Carlos might be able to address that, but I think it was for convenience. One
Okay.
out.
Yeah, I think it was like Dee said, for convenience, and that they thought they could expedite both of them together, but
right,
now it
okay.
might not be that way. Who knows?
Okay, well, we can go on to C, discussion vote on well 8 property acquisition. We're waiting on a settlement conference that's gonna happen on March 6th, so that's where we stand with that. And then, that'll resolve all of this.
Maybe.
It'll resolve all of this. Say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we can move on to 13. Discussion vote on parcel B water tank replacement project, timeline, budget, environmental and engineering.
Yeah, I do have something in your notebook.
Is it, that's what they're gonna guarantee us?
That's what it sounds like.
Yep,
Wow,
that's awesome.
that is awesome. That's 90%.
Pretty good amount, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, it went up from the email that I got, the other day?
CARES funds available, $891,500. If we
Okay,
get
yeah,
the
but that's,
bio quickly, we may be able to adjust some of the dates included rural.
Yeah, he gave the,
That's a, yeah, flow chart on the back.
but
Well,
that's
I
not
think
90.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Sorry.
We're not gonna worry about what the percentages are. You know, we're
Okay.
gonna pay the rest, so let's just
Yeah.
move on. Let's get on to this.
But it's a good chunk. That's nice.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Regarding the timeline, James sent out a timeline and, it really has us, bidding the job in June and issuing the notice to proceed in June, and then really starting the project in June, July. And so I wrote back to James and said, and asked the question, how does this affect the timing of the financing with respect to HUD? Because, we understood that this stuff has to be committed.
Before then.
And it has to be, we have to have invoices and we have to verify, those invoices. So we have to do that before the money runs out. And so he wrote back, and I think Tiffany, you got a copy of that. He's checking that out with the HUD field office regarding the deadline. So, our plan is to order the tank, get the thing built, take a look at the materials. If they don't ship them right away, then we'll, go to the manufacturer and inventory them, and then, then we can verify that the tank was built and that we can pay for the tank. At the same time, the contractor will be starting the demo of the existing tank. So, I've got a hunch that this will work out all right. But, we have to be Johnny on the spot on these things. And Johnny, you saw what Curtis sent out just a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
So you're gonna be Johnny on the spot?
yeah.
Yeah, no pun intended, but we already,
Yeah.
we have a preliminary design out already. And so, it's a discussion document right now, but it's basically the primary things that need to be put on plans for the tanks. And then we'll be working on the specifications too. So, and at the same time, James asked, so we're moving ahead with that. And then, he asked if we can move ahead with a biota. And Johnny, I think, did David Smith come up and tour with you?
No,
Hasn't yet.
No.
They are on it, and he'll be calling you, and probably, weather permitting, next week, we'll be able to get up there.
sounds good.
It's gonna be raining.
or snowy or something.
Yeah, we'll probably have to avoid the rain just simply
We're
because,
supposed to get snow.
oh boy.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be less than an inch. So
Mhm.
again, we're only gonna be able to know when we see it.
Yeah. So he should be coordinating with you, Johnny. I gave him your contact information. So we're moving ahead with that, and I think, we'll have our part done, and the environmental will be done. And then it's pretty much through that county process. And, hopefully it'll be fairly prompt. We have some of those types of projects that they have moved like coal molasses at the county. So, but the county's motivated to get this done, so I think we'll get some priority. That's all I have on that.
I had a question. You wanted me to talk to James Golden about a check-in meeting, like a monthly check-in meeting?
Yeah.
For this, we didn't necessarily have any times or days of the week picked out. What do you think of, since everybody's here, doing it after the state update? Would that kind of work out for everyone?
Yeah, it'd work out for me.
Okay,
What,
when again, Tiffany?
Immediately
Like-
following the state update.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coincided with the state update meeting, so.
Yeah.
What would I say, 11:15, 11:30, what do you
well,
think?
well,
It goes till
Yeah.
12 sometimes. Hardly ever, but it does.
I mean,
yeah, but it hasn't in a long time.
Mm.
I'd say 11:30, or do you want to do 12? I mean,
only
Let's-
because if you're here and you're hanging around, you know,
right.
oh,
Want to do 11:30, Dee?
Yeah, I think that would be best because the county will probably not want to meet at noon. Again, I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
Them-
That only gives us like half an hour if they do lunch at noon,
Yeah,
but that might be enough.
yeah, I think so.
does that sound about?
yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Then I'll ask him about that, and then we can make it.
Yeah, sounds good, Tiffany. And you'll probably set it up, I'm guessing.
They will probably send the team's invite, like they'll do that part of it, but I'll coordinate the times
Oh, good.
and
Okay.
days.
Okay, so, at that, we don't, oh yeah, we're fine. There's nothing else. Thank you, Dee, and thank you, Carlos. You
Thank
can stay, you can
Alright.
go.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good weekend.
Good night.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to 15, discussion vote, employee handbook. I think we need to table that till,
I got something in the mail from Alan. I was trying to find it, but it was an invoice. It was like $1,600. And, I told him, yeah, that looked fine. So we're gonna, when we get the invoice, I guess he's holding it until we get the invoice.
Yeah,
You
that's a
get-
good, I got a copy
Oh, okay.
of that email.
So anyway, so in 2 weeks, we ought to have
have the report, or have the,
or the invoice, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been searching, I don't know what I did. I was searching my emails. I can't find that email no matter what. So
yeah,
luckily Tiffany's got.
Yeah, I'll re-forward it to you.
Okay.
okay. So we'll go on to 16, review and fill out form 700.
Did mine already.
Quick.
Put in your basket, Tiffany.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so last year's is in your book, under the agenda, under number 16. If you wanna look at that one, and then you have all the books separate.
Right, well,
Or you can do it now, or you can do it
I,
later. I give it to you a little bit in advance so that.
I wanna,
you don't get all this other stuff.
where is it? Where's the
Just like
actual
in this
form?
one.
Yeah. In the, one of the big booklets on your table,
Is it-
the one that says Form 700 and it's in there.
It's on page 6.
Okay. Now it'll take me no time to fill this thing out. Always, one more thing.
Are you gonna continue the meeting or are you gonna fill it?
Well, we'll continue the meeting and then I'll finish it when the meeting's over under the door.
Okay.
I don't care. 17, review and approve meeting minutes, 1/6/2026 AP Standing Committee, 1/8/2026 regular meeting, 1/20/26 AP Standing Committee, 1/22/26 regular state planning and project meeting, and 1/29/2026 special meeting. You wanna do that, Terry?
Yes. Let me find my paper.
We need a motion.
Yeah. But I gotta find my paper. I don't remember it all. I move that we approve the minutes, for the minutes for this, standing committee for January 6, 2026. The regular meeting for, January 8, 2026. The AP Standing Committee for January 20, 2026. The regular state planning meeting for January 22, 2026. And the special meeting for January 29, 2026. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I second that.
Okay, the motion has been, made by Director Kelling and seconded by Director Garcia. Roll call of directors, Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
and Director Nyman is an aye. 5-0, motion carried. Okay, 18, of voting and forming, dissolving ad hoc committees. I'll entertain a motion to, make, Director Schoenberg an alternate, on the, Prop 218 ad hoc committee. Somebody needs to make a motion.
Well, since,
Jerry.
yeah,
I move that we make Director Schoenberg an alternate on the
Rate study.
rate study ad hoc committee.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, the motion has been made by Director Garcia, seconded by Director Gibson. Roll call of directors. Director Schoenberg,
Abstain?
okay. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia,
Aye.
you can, Director Kelly,
abstain,
no,
aye.
yeah, you can aye. Doesn't matter. Director, some of it, okay, Director Nyman is an aye. So that's 3-0-2 abstentions. Are you an abstention or are you an aye? I don't,
Well, because I'm on that committee.
okay, that's
do-
fine.
do
Yeah,
I-
but we have two people on the committee. You're adding we're adding somebody has to say aye in order for it to
I don't
pass.
think it matters if you're on the committee, it's on this.
Right, it's not like it has anything to do with you.
Well, I'll be an aye, that's fine.
Okay, so 4-0-1 abstention, motion, okay, thank you. All right, okay, you've got, number 19, any future items that we haven't discussed? Okay,
Can I just say that on that committee, I'll call you, Director Kelling, and arrange a date, maybe tomorrow or Saturday.
That's fine.
And we
I'll
can put
go through and
the,
read what I can.
we can put the new sign quote back on the agenda for the next meeting. I got a proof of the artwork and then I'm supposed to be getting the quote, so I'll have it ready for you.
okay. All right, if there's nothing else, number 20, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion has been made by Director Kelling and seconded by Director Garcia. Roll call of directors, Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Nice.
Aye.
and Director Nyman's an aye. Okay, motion carried 500. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
ladies.
Thank you.
Aye.
Have fun,
Yeah.
Rama. Happy Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, everybody.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
too. Lisa, I'll be right out.